Philippines President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has become quite famous these days. He has held the office of president since 2022, and his family name carries a long legacy in the political history of the Philippines. Some people view him with deep skepticism due to his father's controversial rule, while others admire him for reviving the Marcos influence in a modern, diplomatic way. So friends, how do you see him? Do let us know in the comments below. In today's lifestyle video, we are going to talk about the President of the Philippines, Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. If you like watching such informative videos, then make sure to subscribe to the channel and click on the bell icon. Also, don't forget to like the video. Biography. Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. is a well-known political figure from the Philippines. He currently serves as the President of the Philippines and has been active in politics for several decades. His political career has been long and eventful. His full name is Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr., and he is often called Bongbong in the Philippines. He was born on September 13, 1957, in Batac, Ilocos Norte, Philippines, and as of 2025, he is 67 years old. Marcos Jr. began his early education in the Philippines. He completed his initial schooling from La Salle Green Hills, a private school in Manila. Later, he went abroad for higher education. He studied in England at Worth School and then moved on to the University of Oxford, where he earned a special diploma in social studies. He also attended the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania in the United States to study for an MBA, although he did not complete the degree due to entering politics. After completing his education, his attention gradually shifted toward public service and politics, especially due to his family's strong political background. His father, Ferdinand Marcos Sr., was the former president and dictator of the Philippines, which brought both prestige and controversy to the Marcos name. Marcos Jr. began his political career at a young age and held various positions such as vice governor, governor, congressman, and senator over the years. Eventually, he ran for the presidency and won in a landslide victory in 2022, marking the official return of the Marcos family to national power. However, his leadership has been viewed in different lights. While some admire him for promoting unity and economic revival, others criticize him for trying to whitewash his family's past. He has also faced criticism over rising inflation, human rights issues, and political alliances. Still, he remains a powerful and influential figure in the region. Career. Now let's talk about his career. Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr.'s career has been quite long, filled with political milestones and challenges. He began his political journey at a young age, stepping into leadership during a very sensitive time in Philippine history. In 1980, at just 23 years old, Marcos Jr. was appointed vice governor of Ilocos Norte, his family's home province. This was during the rule of his father, Ferdinand Marcos Sr., who was the president of the Philippines at that time. 3 years later, in 1983, he became governor of Ilocos Norte, a position he held until 1986. However, his early political career was interrupted when the People Power Revolution in 1986 forced his family into exile following the fall of his father's dictatorship. After spending several years in Hawaii and the United States, the Marcos family returned to the Philippines in the early 1990s. That's when Bongbong Marcos made a comeback. In 1992, he was elected as representative of Ilocos Norte's 2nd District, marking his return to Philippine politics. He served until 1995 and continued to build his political reputation locally. In 1998, he once again became governor of Ilocos Norte and served for another 9 years, from 1998 to 2007. During his term, he focused on infrastructure, tourism, and economic development within the province. In 2007, he returned to Congress as a representative once more, and in 2010, he successfully ran for the Philippine Senate. As a senator, he focused on local governance, climate change preparedness, and youth affairs. In 2016, he ran for vice president of the Philippines but narrowly lost to Leni Robredo. Marcos challenged the result and filed an electoral protest, which lasted for several years but was ultimately dismissed. Despite the setback, he remained a significant political figure. In 2022, Bongbong Marcos ran for president of the Philippines, and with massive support, especially on social media, he won in a landslide victory, becoming the 17th president of the country. As president, he prioritized economic recovery, especially in the aftermath of the COVID-19 pandemic. He also served as the Secretary of Agriculture, hoping to address food security and inflation. In foreign policy, Marcos Jr. took a stronger stance on the South China Sea dispute, strengthening ties with the United States and pushing back against Chinese aggression. His leadership has been defined by efforts to balance diplomacy and assertiveness in a region full of tension. However, His presidency hasn't been without criticism. Many Filipinos feel he hasn't done enough to curb inflation or improve public services like healthcare and education. He also faces backlash from groups who continue to seek accountability for the human rights abuses that occurred during his father's rule. Still, Bongbong Marcos remains a dominant political figure in the Philippines, backed by loyal supporters, driven by legacy, and focused on reshaping his family name. Awards. Now let's talk about his awards. Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. has received several awards and recognitions over the years, both locally and internationally. He has been honored with the 10 Outstanding Young Men (TOYM) of the Philippines Award for his contributions to public service at an early age. This award recognized his leadership during his early political career as governor of Ilocos Norte. He also received an honorary doctorate in humanities from Polytechnic University of the Philippines, acknowledging his work in local governance and cultural development. In addition to these, he was conferred the Maharlika Award for promoting regional growth in northern Luzon. This was during his tenure as governor, where he led various infrastructure and tourism initiatives. Under his presidency, he has been invited to speak at major international summits and has gained recognition from ASEAN and other global partners for his firm stance on regional cooperation and economic diplomacy. Along with these, he continues to receive local honors from civic organizations, universities, and policy forums that appreciate his commitment to public service and national development. Family. Now let's introduce you to his family. His father's name is Ferdinand Marcos Sr., who served as the President of the Philippines from 1965 to 1986 and remains one of the most controversial figures in the country's history. His mother's name is Imelda Marcos, known worldwide for her extravagant lifestyle and massive shoe collection. He has 2 sisters and 1 brother. Their names are Amy Marcos, Irene Marcos, and Amy Marcos. Amy Marcos is also a well-known political figure and is currently serving as a senator in the Philippines. His wife's name is Liza Araneta Marcos, a respected lawyer and educator. Together, they have 3 sons. Among them, the most known publicly is Sandro Marcos, who followed in his father's footsteps and is now a member of the House of Representatives. The Marcos family remains one of the most influential and talked about political dynasties in the Philippines today. Income and net worth. Now let's talk about his income and net worth. As the President of the Philippines, Ferdinand Marcos Jr. earns a monthly salary of around $12,000 to $14,000. This is the official compensation provided to the head of state in the country. Besides his presidential salary, Marcos Jr. and his family are believed to have various business interests and investments, especially in real estate, offshore assets, and agricultural ventures. Through these sources, it is estimated that he earns an additional $180,000 to $240,000 per month. As of 2025, his total net worth is estimated to be around $90 million. However, some reports and critics suggest that the hidden wealth of the Marcos family could be far more, citing alleged offshore accounts and undisclosed assets. Despite controversies, President Marcos Jr. continues to maintain a high-profile lifestyle, often flying internationally, staying in elite accommodations, and attending diplomatic gatherings in style. Now let's take a look at his house. Ferdinand Marcos Jr. lives with his family in the official Malacanang Palace, the grand presidential residence located in Manila, Philippines. This historic palace serves as both the president's home and his workplace. It features large and elegant rooms, including formal reception halls, private bedrooms, government offices, conference rooms, and quiet reading areas. Outside, the palace grounds include manicured gardens, fountains, and walkways, offering peaceful surroundings within the heart of a busy city. Although it is primarily a government property, Marcos Jr. and his family enjoy its comfort and luxury, with complete staff and security on site. In addition to Malacanang Palace, the Marcos family also owns private residences, including a notable property in Ilocos Norte, which is the family's political stronghold. One of their most famous homes is the Marcos Mansion in Batac, a grand estate valued at several $1 million, featuring colonial architecture, expensive land, and heirloom furnishings. The design of their private homes reflects a blend of Spanish heritage, traditional Filipino craftsmanship, and modern luxury. You can see some of these breathtaking properties and interiors on your screen. Foreign relations. Now let's talk about his foreign relations. Since taking office in 2022, President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. has adopted a more active and globally engaged foreign policy. He has focused on building strong relationships with both Western allies and Asian neighbors, while also navigating the complex tensions in the region. One of his key diplomatic priorities has been strengthening ties with the United States. Marcos Jr. has met multiple times with American officials, including President Joe Biden, to reinforce defense agreements and enhance cooperation in areas like trade, technology, and maritime security. Under his leadership, the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, EDCA, between the Philippines and the U.S. has been expanded, allowing American forces to access more military bases across the country. This move was seen as a clear message to counter growing Chinese influence in the South China Sea. At the same time, Marcos Jr. has maintained cautious diplomacy with China. While he has pushed back on illegal Chinese activities within Philippine waters, he has also engaged in talks to avoid direct conflict and maintain trade relations. He has also built strong ties with Japan, South Korea, and ASEAN countries. These partnerships have focused on infrastructure, climate resilience, and economic development. His visit to Tokyo in early 2023 led to major investment pledges and defense cooperation. Marcos Jr. has also shown interest in expanding relations with European nations, encouraging investment and support for sustainable energy, education, and digital technology. His foreign policy is seen as a balancing act, keeping longtime allies close while asserting Philippine sovereignty in regional disputes. Though critics argue that his administration sometimes sends mixed signals, supporters praise him for being pragmatic and globally forward-looking. Through diplomacy, trade, and security alliances, President Marcos Jr. aims to elevate the Philippines standing on the world stage. Car collection, private jets, and yachts. Finally, let's talk about President Bongbong Marcos Jr.'s car collection, private jets, and yachts. As the head of state, Marcos Jr. uses a heavily armored presidential limousine, often compared to the Beast, customized for maximum security and comfort. Its estimated cost is around $1.5 million USD, and it's equipped with bulletproof glass, satellite communication, and emergency medical supplies. In his private collection, Marcos is often seen riding in a Mercedes-Benz S-Class, valued at approximately $200,000, and a Toyota Land Cruiser, known for both luxury and off-road durability, priced around $100,000. Apart from his car collection, the Marcos family has reportedly used private jets for both official and personal international travel. While specific ownership details are kept discreet, the jets used are typically Gulfstream or Bombardier-class aircraft, which can cost anywhere from $20 million to $40 million, depending on the model and customization. As for luxury water travel, the family has occasionally been spotted aboard private yachts during personal vacations and high-level diplomatic retreats. Though no specific yacht has been publicly declared under their ownership, luxury yachts in their circle are typically valued between $10 million to $25 million. These elite modes of transportation reflect not only the stature of the president, but also the long-standing wealth and power associated with the Marcos name. So friends, this was the life story of the President of the Philippines, Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. What are your thoughts on Marcos Jr.? Do let us know in the comments below. And if you liked this informative video, don't forget to like it.